recall vividly, when Madame Charlotte Osei's removal process commenced, if you recall, at that time, even the petition was unsigned, some faceless people, a whole lot of issues. Scholars started asking questions that, listen, there are about 3 important institutions in this our democracy that we should never play with. The judiciary, the Electoral Commission, and SRAJ, and possibly NCCE. And so we should be very careful in dealing with it. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, a lawyer, with an executive secretary, a lawyer, with an attorney general and deputy, Madame Gloria Kufu, and what shall I say, Godfrey Adame, together with all the lawyers in NPP, including my learned senior Afenyo Markin, advised Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo on the process to impeach Madame Charlotte Osei, spirit and letter of Article 146. At that time, I remember vividly saying that suspending the Electoral Commission chairperson on allegation that she had breached the Procurement Act or violated the Act was too much to take. And my reasoning at that time was that, listen, when Parliament made or enacted the PPA Act, they provided in it a section 80, from section 80 up to 90, that even where there is an alleged violation of the Procurement Act, the PPA can set up a committee. The committee will advise the authority either to ratify, cancel the said procurement, even rectify the mistake, among other things. And so, to remove an important constitutional, the head of an important constitutional head like the Electoral Commission from office, on the mere allegation that there is a violation of the Public Procurement Act, we should tread cautiously. I remember our friends in the NPP, and like the video you played, Malene Senior Afenyo Markin asked the question, is it the president that has removed Charlotte Osei or an institution of the state? At this point, President Mahama says, and from all correspondence, which they don't deny, the Council of State. The Council of State. The Council of State. In fact, in the case of Charlotte Osei, it was only one person, Chief Justice. Incidentally, do you know the Chief Justice who made a prima facie determination against Charlotte Osei? Was it Sophia? Yes. Her ladyship, Sophia Akufo. And pursuant to her determination, the constitution of the 5-member committee, chaired by His Lordship Justice Anthony Benny, Justices Mafosa the late, and Agnes Doji, Abrapia, and the rest, to go into the merits. At this point, have you heard President Mahama or say that her relationship with the Chief Justice is guilty? I said, look, there is a preliminary matter for investigation. The 5 wise men and women or whatever will go and adjudicate the matter. Thankfully, the process allows her to come with her lawyer and even call witnesses. You are saying that the travel policy that she relied on was prepared for or whatever by Chief Justice Sophia. You said it was amended in 2019. 2019. When she was Chief Justice. Maybe she will call her as one of her witnesses so that she can come and tell us the spirit and letter, read as a whole, the travel policy. She has the benefit of calling witnesses. Lawyers together. The petitioners also have the benefit of doing so. But you see, Senior, I am shocked that we are raising these matters now. Look, when Madame Charlotte Osei's impeachment process started, acting through her lawyer, Mr. Tadio wrote to President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo that, Mr. President, give me a copy of the petition so that at least I can respond before Chief Justice Sophia will do all those. That time, the presidential Gongon Vita was the spokesperson, Eugene Ahi, responded to Charlotte Osei and the lawyer and said, Madam, this is not the place of President Akufo-Addo to furnish you with copies of the petition. When he got to President Mahama, he said, no, you even want 7 days. I'll give you 10 days. Senior, are you by any reasoning saying that the process Akufo-Addo used in the removal of Madame Charlotte Osei was a bad precedent? Is that what you are saying today?
That's what you said.
Please, Senior, I beg you. Is it your contention?
That's what you said.
Is it your contention that what Nana-Addo did in the removal of Madame Charlotte Osei was a bad precedent?
My view doesn't matter. That's what you said.
Oh, Senior. With the benefit
no.
Okay, so Senior, let's
there can't be any benefit of his.
Let me rephrase that. Please, would you suggest to this your teaming viewer that with the benefit of hindsight, the removal of Charlotte Osei, a critical, head of an independent, was a bad precedent set by Nana-Addo?
In the first place, the Chief Justice's office cannot, under any circumstances, be equated to that of the Electoral Commission.
Who said?
It's clear in the Constitution.
In the
secondly,
Senior.
There are 3 arms of government.
Look, you
the
see,
Chief Justice is the head of the 10. Are you giving me an opportunity?
No,
let me conclude. Now,
you couldn't answer.
Secondly,
let me get back.
You said that it was wrong. So what has changed?
Okay. So it was wrong.
You said so.
No, do you believe it was
wrong? You said so. So I'm saying be consistent with your principles.
I think we should make progress.
Okay.
He said, because you have a lot to say. I noticed you said
yes.
a lot.
He said we should make progress.
Yes.
Then he says that the whole reason for removing or the removal process having been triggered is because the election petition and all the issues were from it. Look, her leadership, Gertrude Torkornoo, was just a panel member. Was she the presiding during the 2020 election petition? No. 2, it was after the 2020 election petition that President Nana-Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo nominated her for the Chief Justice position. Correct. The NDC Parliament, the NDC members in Parliament, unanimously, in the case of Chief Justice Torkornoo, approved her nomination. In fact, I remember vividly when she appeared before the appointment committee, then on the ranking of that committee was the Honorable Atuforsen. In fact, they turned the whole thing into a Jumako Besiase conversation because apparently she has started schooling or something in that town. And Atuforsen said, as the MP, I'm happy that one of my own is getting to the position. So her approval was bipartisan, even after the election petition. Does it not defeat your argument? Because the same parliament, if you recall, in the case of Justice Gawu, Kumsen, they went to the plenary for a vote. If the NDC was opposed to her becoming Chief Justice because she sat on the election petition of 2020, her nomination or approval would have put to the entire House, which never happened. So staying away from this. Let's not do that. 2, we are being told that, the NDC doesn't like the national chairman. What exactly has our national chairman said? What exactly has our national chairman said relative to this matter? I even heard somebody say, President Mahama has said a new Chief Justice, blah, blah, blah. I said, where? What happened was that prior to His Lordship Eniegwa leaving, the Afrobarometer report had come out and made some scathing findings about the judiciary. President Mahama, in addressing the press in that time, said, with President Nana-Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo about to appoint a new Chief Justice, it is his expectation that this new Chief Justice would take on some of the findings of the Afrobarometer and handle it without harm. Now, MPP now interpret that to say President Mahama said he will remove what's the name? Gertrude Torkornoo. So you have a political party that has been struggling to pin President Mahama down. And like we have been told this morning, we should look at the spiritual side of Article 146 and see what we can do. Today I'm hearing that Her Ladyship Sophia Akuffo recused herself from the deliberation of the Council of State. I mean, that's within her right. But the council takes its decision by a majority.
But we don't know that for a fact.
No, we don't know for a fact.
No, I'm just saying that that's what he's saying.
Okay.
Oh, no, but I said that that's what we are hearing.
Yeah.
And so if it's
I'm
the
even
case,
saying that, assuming that it was the case that she
Let's say whoever recused decided to abstain or to recuse themselves.
the law perfectly
Yes,
permits, and possibly, I mean, in good conscience, if somebody comes to a judicial or whatever, an investigative body or something, and says, oh, one of my defense is a document signed by Ejapa. For Ejapa to sit in there and make that determination, Ejapa can say, oh no, you know, my mind doesn't serve me right, so maybe I'll recuse myself. So, but the council takes this decision by a majority, whatever. So that's perfect.
But what you can confirm is 30 out of 31.
Which one?
In terms of the numbers of the council of
I don't
state
even
members.
know because
I heard Savage Jeff say it was 30 out of 31. That's
Oh,
what I'm
okay.
asking.
So
What do
if you listen to the statement, you know, from the president, it was clear. Okay. In fact, there was no suggestion even remotely that the decision was either unanimous or by a majority decision.
Okay.
So I do not want to delve into that.
Right.
Look, prior to this, I have seen leading members of the MPP, like the person who does the evening program on this platform.
Oh, you mean Paula Domoche?
Yes.
Okay.
And other leading members of the MPP
you
published.
see his party card.
Oh, sorry. Then I withdraw. He's a leading member.
Paula Domoche is a senior journalist.
Okay.
Please, he's a senior journalist.
Yes, senior journalist,
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
Publish the contents on their platform, and we're discussing it. I have, with caution, tried to avoid a conversation on the marriage for good reason.
Why?
For good reason. These 5 people are going to have the benefit to examine. In fact, that is a process that is actually adjudicatory. Then they will go through the process. All the parties will now come with their lawyers. It may well be that at the end of the day, they'll find that there's no merit. What happens then? So for me, at this critical moment, and like it had been, President Mahama had never on any platform communicated that Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice, is guilty. The word used is prima facie, nothing more, nothing else.